Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Cloverly Academy. My name is Sophia Wardell, and today we have a very special guest, marketing specialist and entrepreneur, Aaron Greenfield. Aaron Greenfield is a seasoned marketing professional specializing in PPC, SEO, social media, data visualization, and performance reporting to help businesses identify growth opportunities and implement scalable strategies. As the owner of Redbeard Digital, Aaron provides digital marketing services for SMBs, including website optimization, paid advertising, and social media management. With experience in leadership roles at Yahoo, Dealeron, and iPartner Media, Aaron has managed client growth, developed training programs, and optimized advertising strategies across multiple industries. Thanks for joining us today, Aaron.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Sure, sure. So I want to start by talking about SEO. What are some of the most common SEO mistakes you see, and how can they be fixed?
Yeah, so SEO, I think the start of it is just not setting up your SEO. I think that's the biggest mistake you can possibly make. So things that are easy to do and free would be things like your Google Search Console and your Bing Webmaster Tools. Those are two free products that are directly associated with what's happening on your site on those two platforms. And they're important because one is seeing what's happening on Google, one is seeing what's happening on like Microsoft or Bing.com. And the other one would probably be Google Analytics. But those three products, I would say, as a whole, are probably the most important things to do. Other things you could look at that are a little more advanced, but are also still important, are putting things like a plugin on your website, a free plugin. Yoast is a very, very popular plugin that's very dominant in the WordPress community. And it just kind of tells you, hey, these are not concluded on your pages. You need to have all these things marked. And it'll walk you through the process. Most internal builders like Wix or Squarespace have internally built their own. So making sure all those things too are done and filled out is really low hanging fruit that almost anybody can do that would attribute to SEO that we see mistakes done all the time with.
Right. And how do you determine which keywords to target for optimal search engine rankings?
Yeah, so that's more based on what you do. So, I mean, if you want to rank for ice cream shop near me, you want to have keywords around ice cream because obviously that's going to make a little more sense to what you're doing. And sometimes people don't really do that, honestly. So, when you're looking at it and you're thinking, how do people search for a product that I have, or how do people search for in the market I'm in? That's where you would kind of start. And then obviously you would use the data from Search Console or Webmaster Tools to kind of say, oh, hey, listen, they're searching this way and I'm using this keyword, but they're not doing it that way. So maybe I should go back and look at both pieces and say I should tailor my content a little bit differently. And that will help me rank better, meaning you're going to show more frequently, you're going to show higher on the page for the results on Google. But it's very much about your product. I mean, if you're an AC company, you want to be ranking for keywords like AC repair, AC installation. That's a given. So you just kind of use your head and be very vigilant into thinking what would a user look for, and that's where it should be. Sometimes people get in their own heads and go like, oh, that's how do you rank for this? I'm like, think about it. How would you search for it?
Right, exactly. And what are your best practices for creating content that is both SEO friendly and also engaging for, say, readers?
Yeah. So I mean, like we said earlier, the Yoast tool, the plugin, it's great because it kind of helps you knock out what we would call technical SEO. Anything the nerdy stuff that Google's like, hey, if you have these, it's better off for you. The other part of it is making sure you're satisfying the total quality, like length of content, meaning how many words on a page. You'll see some pages will be like 200 words, and you go, that's just not enough. And Google's like, yeah, we get it. Making sure you're not stuffing any words in there too often or keywords, making sure it doesn't look too like AI written, for example, or
Mm,
too stale. Meaning, if it's kind of boring, like Google will have bots that crawl it and say, like, this is kind of a stale piece of content. But one of the things you want to look at too is your readers. So the most common reading level that is most engaged with, especially in marketing and advertising online, is a sixth grade reading level. So if you're
wow.
writing your content at writing your content at a collegiate level, your engagement may not be great. So while you may be satisfying all the Google requirements, if at the end of the day your users aren't engaging with the content you're creating and they aren't performing an action on your website, whether that's a phone call or email, then you're not really doing your job. So you kind of got to walk both worlds and see, if that's producing a yield for you.
Right. Wow, yeah, that is amazing. And how would you say that the evolution of search engine algorithms has impacted your approach to SEO strategy?
Yeah, I think with the biggest thing for us is AI, and it's something I hear everybody say, and we get frustrated with it a little bit because it's not really true AI. It's more like machine learning, and so it is very valuable. But with the new search engines implementing it into their directly to search, meaning you can kind of ask a question, and if the search engine determines that it's more of a query of a question as opposed to like, hey, I want to show something or be directed to something, it produces a response. Whether if it's Google, it's Gemini, and what that ends up doing is showing up above your organic searches. And you're already fighting for organic space. So it makes it more difficult. And that makes us have to expand our websites. So making them have more pages with better content and additional blogs to be able to rank more efficiently to kind of combat that with Google. And that's frustrating. So those are things, and we're kind of used to it, I guess, because every 6 to 9 months you see an algorithm update from Google. And that's just them being able to mitigate, hey, these are things that people were taking advantage of. And these are things we want to make sure it's fair to everyone. And we want to make sure that our people who are on our websites are really engaged with user engagement, like how that turns for them. So you're doing the things that are better versus things that are bad. And we talked about that, where there's like black hat and white hat. And so like
Hmm.
black hat practice would be poor SEO, and then white hat would be good things. And the more good things you do, the more Google will promote you because the user experience becomes exponentially better that way, which means you're doing what you should be doing and you're getting the right information in front of the right user at the right time. And by doing that, you're going to get higher rank, more visibility, and more users to your website.
Right. Now, we talked about this a little already, but are there any other tools or metrics that you recommend using to track and measure the success of an SEO campaign?
Yeah. So, I mean, the first party tools we talked about, right? So, Search
Hmm.
Console, Big My Master Tools, Google Analytics will give you a really good idea of what you're ranking for currently, and also what your users are doing on your own website. But other tools that are really great that are widely used, and there's many of them, but SEO Moz is a very popular tool, helps you give a lot of information. They also have data about what they call domain authority, which is a little more complex, but it's a great way to look and see how popular somebody is on the website. And Moz created that static. And the other one would be SEMrush. So that's a third party tool. It's paid, but it gives you a lot of competitor data, and it will be able to look at and crawl multiple sites who may be competing with you potentially, and you can see that. And if they are or are not, you can see what keywords they're ranking for. So you can kind of use that as an
Mm.
indicator to say, okay, if it's an ice cream shop near me and they're using these keywords and I'm not, like maybe I should be using them too. And so yeah, so SEM Rush and SEO Moz are probably the two more widely used tools that you can get on top of Search Console, Webmaster Tools, and Google Analytics.
Well, Aaron, thank you so much. That was wonderful insight on SEO.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Lastly, where can our listeners find and connect with you?
Yeah, so we run Redbeard Digital. So if you go to redbeard.digital, our website, you can see all of our online products and our services anywhere from SEO, web design, and paid advertising.
That's all the time we have for today. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in to today's interview with marketing specialist and entrepreneur Aaron Greenfield. Be sure to check out our website for more videos. Wishing you all a fulfilling and successful writing journey.